On January 25th, Canandaigua City School District residents will vote on a $9.925 million capital project for renovations to the district's outdoor athletic and physical education facilities. The project contains significant proposed improvements at Canandaigua Academy for exhibition field, the track and field venue, and practice fields, at the Evans Field campus where the district will maintain its football and baseball programs, and at the middle school tennis courts.
This is about a future of our community and a future for our kids. We left that as a choice to our community and the voters here.
All of the key components that figure into developing a winning program and a positive program, they're all part of the package.
I like to say that it's really the best anti-drug program out there. Kids are involved in athletics, have something to do every day after school that's positive, that's healthy.
Because the project will receive 80% state aid, the projected local tax impact of the project is $14 per year for a home assessed at $150,000. If approved, the project would first impact local tax bills in October 2013.
Well, we paid particular attention to how this was going to impact each household. It's critical for all of us to recognize that this kind of change and this kind of investment is really about kids first and foremost. But secondly, for an entire community and for how they utilize and look at their school as a center for activities indoors as well as outdoors.
We need to educate our children intellectually. We need to provide opportunities for our children in the arts and in athletics, and we focus on character development, and all of these things come together in a project such as this.
From a safety perspective, from a capacity perspective for the number of fans that want to go and view and enjoy these games, and most importantly, from the students' perspective, being able to practice and compete on quality fields where injury possibilities are minimized.
The proposal, if approved by voters, would provide Canandaigua with community-centered facilities that are nowhere else available to our residents. The proposal is designed to solve already existing problems before cutbacks or expensive accommodations for the district's physical education and interscholastic sports programs become unavoidable. It will provide a 20-year solution to these problems, meeting both current and projected demand for these facilities. It achieves these goals at the lowest possible cost to local taxpayers by maximizing state building aid and taking advantage of the favorable construction bidding environment that exists in the current economy.
So therefore, we've had a long-standing issue over time that has caused us to come to today and looking at how to address those needs.
Our facilities are subpar. When I look around and I travel within our league and I look at what we have in terms of the quality of our track, for example, our playing fields themselves, we have not addressed what I see as the needs, and now we have a unique opportunity. We've got some state aid that is available.
There was a community-based committee, which we've held for several of our projects, and that brought together residents in the community and members of our faculty and people who had expressed in the past both interest in what we were doing and disapproval of what we were doing, and we felt it was important to have all of those viewpoints represented on the committee.
The needs right now are dire, from the tennis courts to exhibition field to a multitude of items at Evans Field.
Some of the field issues that we have in Canandaigua right now are because we didn't do some of the things that we should have done when we had the opportunity to do them to maintain and build up our fields. And we did that because we wanted to save money. But now look at the situation we're in. And so it's the old, and I know this is a cliche, but it's the pay me now or pay me later.
We know that there's going to be a major change in Albany. Much of what has been discussed, although it certainly hasn't been finalized yet, is to cut the amount of state aid we receive. So we felt we needed to move on this when we knew that we would receive the state aid that we have received in the past, and when we know that, ironically, the conditions for bidding a project are really better now than they are in a stronger economy.
There are two main financial components to this. There is the money that will come from Albany to fund the project, and there's the money that comes from our community to fund the project. Right now, that is an 80%, 20% mix.
No one else is going to look out for Canandaigua but Canandaigua. And it's important for us to say that we have this need, we communicate that need to the state, and the state then in turn returns some of our monies back to our community.
Under the proposal, the Academy campus would receive a new artificial turf playing surface for Exhibition Field, including all below-surface infrastructure improvements for adequate drainage and irrigation of the entire area. Exhibition Field will also receive a 500-seat bleacher addition and a new press box. The artificial turf will give the community a field that can be used all day and into the evening for physical education classes and other school activities, by various teams for games and practices, and by community groups. The existing lights are a major reason the artificial turf will be located at Exhibition Field. The tennis courts will not be repaired but will remain in use for teaching and be open for public use. A new track and field venue will be installed in the lower field area in order to enable multiple events at the same time with maximum safety and spectator convenience. The track will include a steeplechase and all field events so that CA may once again host Section 5 or state track and field competitions. Inside the track oval, the field area will be regraded and sodded. This field could host games for soccer and lacrosse and various PE classes. Bleachers, perimeter security fencing, a press box, scoreboard, and PA system will also be added. Access to the lower field area will be improved, including walks and ramps to all fields and appropriate service vehicle paths. A restroom facility and other necessary utilities will be added. There will also be portable bleachers provided for the various fields. The entire lower field area owned by the school district will receive adequate drainage infrastructure, and 2 grass practice fields will be regraded and sodded. The lower field area will be accessed by car from North Road. A new access driveway from North Road will connect the area, and a 100-vehicle parking lot will be added. The project also includes $100,000 worth of lighting work at the academy and middle school. This interior school work meets state education law requirements necessary to trigger state building aid for the project.
It will become more and more of a community center than it already is. And that benefits the vast majority of us. It benefits all of us if we choose to use it, because that's what it'll be. It'll be a choice of whether you, the community member, want to use it or not.
I think that the district has a duty to provide the best possible learning environment that they can. They need to do it in the sciences, they need to do it in the mathematics, they need to do it in social studies, they need to do it in English, they need to do it in performing arts, which they've done. And so now I think that it would be prudent to do the same thing in the area of physical education and athletics, and getting back to developing the whole child, and a sound body, a sound mind, and and so I think that those things all tie in together.
I think when kids see those facilities, they take pride in it. That's our place, and it means a lot to them. When you have subpar facilities, kids don't feel that good about themselves, their programs, their teams, etc. And really, safety is the primary objective, but you can't forget about those intangibles that make people feel good about who they are, where they're from, and the pride they take in their school and their community.
At the middle school, 5 new tennis courts will be constructed, and the 3 existing courts will be renovated. These courts will accommodate the varsity and JV tennis programs on the middle school campus to take advantage of much better playing conditions than the present Canandaigua Academy venue. The change makes possible a complete set of simultaneous matches for all interscholastic competitions. The courts will also provide the middle school physical education program with enhanced flexibility for outside teaching stations, and will likely be very popular with tennis-playing residents. Evans Field will remain the home of the CA football and baseball Braves. The Frank Baker Fieldhouse will be renovated. The football field will receive new drainage infrastructure and an irrigation system. The field will be regraded and resodded. There will be new home bleachers and a new home side press box. The parking lot will be paved. The baseball infield will be regraded and sodded and also include an irrigation system. An improved backstop and foul line fencing will be added. Both home and visitor bleachers will be new.
We haven't done any improvements at Evans Field in a good 30 years, and it really is due for some improvements.
Evans Field requires multiple repairs. The field itself, again, the stands, the field house, the baseball field, backstops, stands, and the parking surrounding that.
Evans Field, I think, best represents not only some of the history and tradition that's here at Canandaigua, but it also represents the most efficient way for us to address some of our needs. It was not decided on Evans Field just because of the history and tradition. Yes, that was critically important, but it was not the only consideration. The other consideration were the cost estimates that we had for doing something one way versus another way. We looked at multiple options for addressing the same sport programs and where we would accommodate them. It was more cost effective for us to continue to utilize the Evans Field area. And we also recognize that with that goes the same traditions and history that has always been a part of Evans Field. We thought that was important. We feel that our community looks at it as important, and we did not want to ignore that as a part of our decision.
I love Evans Field because we had a lot of success at Evans Field, but it's kind of iconic because very few places have a field that sits right in the middle of town, but it's so accessible, and people sit in their backyards and watch the Braves play. And either whether it be baseball games or lacrosse games or football games, and I think it's kind of a special, unique place. And it's my hope that in the final analysis, the upgrades that are proposed to Evans Field will take place, and that for the last 55 years or whatever Evans has been there, that and for the 55 years going forward, that something will take place on Evans Field that will help build and retain the tradition that is Canandaigua.
The project can only succeed if the community supports it, and so our goal is to give enough information so that people feel good about the project, to open ourselves up to any questions that people might have, and to address those concerns honestly. So we invite the public to do that.
The vote will be held on January 25th from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. at the district's normal polling locations in the elementary school and the Cheshire Fire Hall. If you are uncertain where to vote, please go to canandaiguaschools.org, quick link 2011 Capital Project, then click on the Where to Vote link. Absentee ballots for the January 25th vote are available immediately for any resident who anticipates that they will not be in the district on the date of the vote. Residents can have an absentee ballot application form mailed to them up to 7 days before the vote. Call the district clerk at 396-3710 for all the details, or check the project website.
We would ask you to come and vote, and it's a part of what your choice is all about.
And when kids feel good about where they are and what they're doing, I think that they perform better. That pride really translates into academic achievement, into taking care of our environment, and into contributing to the life of Canandaigua and perhaps even the economy of Canandaigua.
They're learning things like teamwork, sacrifice, learning to push themselves beyond where they've ever gone before.
This referendum supports all that.
It all blends into what you want to do to run a first-class program.